everyone, and welcome to today's session on lifestyle as an important drug for cancer prevention and recovery. I'm Prachi, head nutritionist and lifestyle expert, and head of Cancer Vertical with Team Blue. Cancer today has become such a common word we hear in our lives, with someone close or near dear ones suffering from it, right? It is no more about the age or sex. Anybody can be infected by this disease today. And that brings in a lot of anxiety, fear, stress, uncertainty among people. I completely understand that. If we trace decades back, cancer was such a rare condition, while now we see such a rapid increase in the number of cases. So, what has changed in these few decades? It is certainly your lifestyle. Now, cancer is definitely multifactorial, but majorly it boils down to factors related to your own immunity and inflammation. Anything, including poor lifestyle habits which affect immunity or lead to inflammation chronically, can make one more susceptible to gene mutation and thus cancer. But what if I tell you there is a lot of hope surrounding this? By doing certain things that will help you fight this disease and recover, or even better, prevent having cancer. How do you do it? The answer lies in you, in your lifestyle. Let us break it down to basics. Now, what is cancer? If I can put it in simple terms, there is cancer gene in all of us, which if turned on, it leads to cancer. So the aim is definitely to keep it off, right? Now, it is when our immunity is weakened due to some factors due to which the cancer gene is then turned on and our body cells then start dividing abnormally and rapidly, which is, called cancer then. Now, these factors are the root cause for the cancer to be expressed. Of course, as I said, cancer is multifactorial, but most of the times this root cause lies in our own lifestyle. Now, coming to lifestyle, what is lifestyle? It is your lifestyle, your daily habits, the routine that you follow for many years, the way you eat, drink, the way you sleep, move, or stay sedentary, the way you handle your emotions and stressors in life. That is your lifestyle. So, one can use their lifestyle to either turn on the cancer gene or use it to keep it off. And that's why I say the power lies in you. And hence, there is a lot of hope for cancer recovery and prevention too. We have worked on numerous and various types of cancer cases, right from breast cancer to cervical, leukemia, brain, liver, lung cancer across the globe, wherein we worked on their deranged lifestyle and saw fabulous outcomes in their recovery. Of course, there are many factors, but if we work upon the main four pillars of lifestyle, namely deep cellular nutrition, movement and exercise, deep sleep, and taking care of emotional well being, can definitely help with cancer recovery and remission. So, today I want to share about these four pillars and a few other factors as well that we have observed as one of the root causes for this disease and worked on them successfully to put our cancer clients on the path of recovery. So, to begin with, let us talk about unhealthy eating habits. It has been found that having excess of refined white sugar, processed and packaged foods which are high on sugar, salt, preservatives, too much of trans fats which are found in foods fried in refined or reused oil, margarine, cream biscuits, bakery items, also refined flour which is maida present in biscuits, pizzas, pastas, also processed meats and so on can lead to chronic inflammation and have a major impact on your immunity and thus inviting cancer susceptibility. In fact, the very fact that in PET scan, which is positron emission tomography, which is usually a scan used to detect if there are any active cancer cells in the body, one is given a radioactive sugar solution to drink, and the places where it lights up in the body is where there is activity of cancer cells. So, what more do you want as an evidence that cancer cells do thrive on sugar? So, now what is the solution? Is it that you cannot have sweets for life? No, not really. You can always opt for natural sweeteners like organic jaggery, raw honey, dried stevia leaves, or foods made out of them, but of course in moderation. In fact, you can check out the recipe corner on our website, which is www.coutinho.com, to get your hands on some interesting recipes which are yummy and healthy as well. Also, remember, moderation is the key. So, having balanced and sensible eating is what is more important. You should be aware of what you are putting inside your system, basically. Which also brings me to the fact that you need to always read the food labels on the packet that you pick up from your favorite food mall. Also, these days, since there is awareness about the negative role sugar can play on our health, the products that have, these hidden names of sugar written on them to confuse the consumer. Names like high fructose corn syrup, maltodextrin, malt syrup are all forms of sugar. Even aerated drinks have high fructose corn syrup, again, a form of sugar. So we need to be watchful of the same. Also, I would like to add these days, animals are pumped with antibiotic and hormonal injections to increase the yield of, dairy or even for that matter, meat. These then play a havoc in our body and affect our hormonal balance and immunity, thus making one more, again, susceptible to being prone to cancer too. We need to be aware of this fact and opt for ethically sourced antibiotic and hormone free dairy or even chicken or fish for that matter. It is basically it is best to have balanced meals with whole grains and pulses, different kinds of vegetables, having that rainbow in your plate with different colored veggies, also having different seasonal and local fruits, nuts and seeds is all that is important. Also, the other point is we often tend to neglect a very important and a crucial nutrient, which is water. It is extremely crucial nutrient not just for the gut health and keeping the bowels clean, but it also is important to keep up with one's immunity. In fact, you would be shocked to know that even a 1% drop in water can affect our immunity drastically. It is thus very essential to keep yourself well hydrated. You may want to keep up with an average of 2.5 to 3 liters of water, including, of course, all the healthy fluid intake through the day. But of course, people with kidney issues or specific water restrictions need to abide by their specific instructions. The next point, that I want to make here is talking about the next pillar, which is movement and exercise. Now, if one is overweight or obese with basically mainly high body fat percentage, that increases the risk of developing cancers, especially estrogen dominant ones like ER positive breast cancer, ovarian, uterine, because the fat cells secrete estrogen hormone. Hence, the maths is simple. If there are more fat cells, there is going to be more of estrogen as well, right? It even increases the risk of colon cancer for that matter. Hence, getting to and staying at a healthy weight is extremely important to lower the risk, especially in terms of body fat percentage. Also, regular physical activity and movement, depending, of course, from case to case, is important for maintaining good immunity because activity would mean good blood circulation to each and every cell of the body, providing nutrition and other factors, and also to effectively flush out the toxins from each of these cells to keep up with immunity and keep that inflammation at the lowest. Now, one may say, I work out for 30 minutes in the day and rest of the day I'm sedentary. That's not being active. Along with that 30 minutes of workout, you need to move at regular intervals throughout the day to keep up with that blood circulation. It could be taking a few steps every hour in the day as well. On an average, therefore, you can gradually aim for 8 to 10,000 steps a day, but of course, there are definitely exceptions. So we need to go by that. Now, the third, pillar that we talk of on is sleep. Having deep sleep. But people, the one of the other risk factors, the causes that we see is sleep deprivation. Now, I always say that sleep is often underestimated and is considered non-productive by many. But sleep is extremely important because all of the healing, recovery, detoxification, hormonal balance that goes on in our body to build immunity takes place only while we sleep. Sleep deprivation basically, it suppresses melatonin, which is the sleep hormone and also an important anti-cancer hormone. Hence, a good quality and quantity of sleep is extremely essential. Completing on an average about 7 to 8 hours of good deep sleep so that you feel rested on wake up the next day is important, and also to try to maintain a regular sleep pattern. So, if you're sleeping, uh, basically sleeping at the same time and getting up at the same time as well is very important. The next pillar that I want to talk about is, emotional, having a good, basically about emotional well-being. And we've seen that deep-rooted emotional stress is also one of the major causes to make you more susceptible to cancer. We cannot separate the mind from our body and healing, definitely. Chronic deep-rooted emotions, suppressed emotions, ultimately tend to cause basically hormonal imbalance and thus weaken immunity, making one more susceptible to cancer. Because emotions are not just emotions, right? They have a deep impact on our immunity and hormones as well. I remember this case of a young 31-year-old who came in for a consult and was diagnosed with breast cancer. As we spoke, it turned out that she was a victim of child abuse. And this, had such a huge impact on her that she bottled up the emotions of anger, guilt, low self esteem for many, many years. She kept internalizing her emotions, and this manifested into cancer. We definitely cannot separate the mind from our body and healing. Such chronic deep rooted emotions, suppressed emotions can very much increase the risk of cancer because internalizing these chronic negative emotions ultimately tend to cause, hormonal imbalance and weaken our immunity, as I said, to make you more susceptible to cancer. I do understand that we all have some or the other stress at every walk of life, but it is very important to deal with these emotions and express it the right way. Either vent them out, out in front of your family or friends, or if need be, please take emotional, professional help and seek emotional counseling as well. Also, do not underestimate the power of certain tools like positive affirmations, visualization, pranayama. We have numerous cases by now that have time and again proved the impact of this powerful tool in healing and recovery. The next factor that I would like to talk about is the importance of gut health, your digestive system. About 70 to 80% of our immunity lies in our gut, which is the digestive system. Hence, imagine anything that affects our gut health chronically can affect our immunity as well. And weakened immunity means increasing the susceptibility to something like cancer. Especially, we see a link in cancer cases which have had chronic constipation or even acidity. They tend to live with it or just pop in, laxatives or antacids, thinking it is solving their constipation or acidity issue. But these are just temporary fixes. And, we are really not healing the root cause. It is therefore extremely important to address these gut issues and not ignore them at all. The next factor I would like to talk about is smoking. Now, smoking has been a well known cause of lung cancer. I think we all would know that by now. But do you know that it can also be a cause of any kind of cancer, right from breast cancer to even colon cancer? Yes, that's right. Tobacco has its link with such cancers as well. Also, the amount of harmful compounds that are put into our body through smoking is unimaginable. It just affects our immunity to a great, great extent. It is true in case of passive smoking too. That is, even if you don't smoke but are surrounded by someone who smokes, you equally inhale those toxins. Also, here I would like to add about vaping. People think that it is a safe option to, smoking tobacco. But let me tell you all, it is equally dangerous and affects our immunity, heart health, and so on. Hence, the best way to prevent this is to quit smoking and even for that matter, vaping for good. The other factor is alcohol. So, anything in moderation is okay, but when you overdo it, then it is a big problem. Alcohol, if overdone, can also affect immunity and make you more susceptible to conditions like cancer. Hence, we need to be aware of this and make our choices accordingly. The next factor that I would like to talk about is maybe not many would know is about vitamin D deficiency. Several studies have now confirmed that optimum vitamin D levels in our body is crucial to not only help lower the incidence of cancer, but also reduce its recurrence and help with better overall survival of those with cancer. Considering our current lifestyle, sitting indoors in the AC most of the times is affecting our vitamin D levels to a great extent. So, it is definitely important to get that daily dose of sunshine. But also, in case of deficiency, the best way to keep up with the levels would be through supplementation. But of course, only after knowing your vitamin D level through a blood test and then check the right dose for you with your doctor. So these are some of the crucial factors of our lifestyle which are very much in our control. And if worked upon can tremendously help to keep up with good health and immunity to help avoid or reduce the chances of getting something like cancer. Now, many with cancer ask us that, okay, if I make these lifestyle changes, would that alone help put their cancer back into remission? So let me tell you all that it is very important to have a 360-degree holistic approach. We need to take care of all the four pillars of lifestyle and other related factors that I just spoke about now. If need be and advised, then yes, you will have to take conventional treatment as well. But until and unless you integrate it with these lifestyle changes, it may not have its desired effect of putting cancer back in remission. There are so many cases that we get, which are relapse cases, basically wherein the cancer has come back. When we diagnose such cases, we realize that there are so many loopholes in their lifestyle, like chronic constipation, acidity issues, and so on, sleep deprivation as well, uh, deep rooted emotional stress as well. That's also one of the major factors. All that we basically, discussed today, which were never addressed in such cases, mainly. Hence, along with conventional treatment, you have to take care and correct your lifestyle too, which is very important to be in remission. So, you see, there needs to be a 360-degree approach towards healing and recovery. So, basically, the whole point I want to make here is we need to pause and introspect and understand the loopholes in a lifestyle and be more mindful about it, which can help us stitch them in time and help in healing and recovery from cancer, or even better, prevent it. Because lifestyle is definitely one of the powerful drugs we can use for the same. In case of any queries related to this topic or to know more about our cancer care programs, do visit the lucutino.com website. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.